I'm calling to order the special meeting of the Pacific Grove Unified School District Board of Education. It is Monday, August 3rd, 2026. As we begin this meeting, it is important to pay respect to and acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of the Ohlone, Costanoan, and Esselen people, and additionally pay respect to elders both past and present. Item C, roll call, Dr. Adamson.
Sure. President McNary.
Here.
Clerk Shamas.
Here.
Trustee Otmar.
Here.
And Trustee Wax.
Here.
Thank you. With 4 trustees present, we have a quorum, and thank you everyone for being here on this Monday night. Next is item D, adoption of the agenda. Dr. Adamson, are there any changes to the agenda as presented?
There are no changes.
Okay, thank you. We will then go out to public comment on the adoption of the agenda. If anyone online or in the room would like to make a comment about the adoption of the agenda, please raise your hand or come forward to the podium now. Okay, seeing no one, I will bring it back to the board for any discussion or motion.
I move to accept the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion made by Trustee Wax, seconded by Clerk Shamas. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Okay. Motion carries. Thank you all. We're going to do our agenda a bit out of order this evening because typically the Pledge of Allegiance would come after our closed session and we come back to open, but we're a bit out of order, so we're going to do it now because this is the beginning of the meeting when we are going to be doing the open session portion. So with that explanation, Dr. Adamson, would you please lead us in the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening, we're going to begin with public hearings. Item A under our public hearings is the PGUSD initial proposal to CSEA for 2025 and 2026. And I am going to open the public hearing. Open the public hearing at 5:34. And Chief Rogaman.
Good evening, trustees. It's my pleasure to be here this evening, and I just want to extend a special thanks for allowing us to bring the public hearing and the following action item forward. This is something that's going to expedite our ability to enter into the successor negotiations with CSEA unit, excuse me, Chapter 2229, which represents the classified employees of PGUSD. As you will see from the cover sheet as well as the attached document, we are looking to open the negotiations on wages and benefits for the successor agreement, which will cover the years 2026 through 2029. It's not the only time that we'll negotiate while that contract is in effect. We will continue to negotiate every year with CSEA. However, the contracts operate in 3-year spans. And so we're going to be starting a new 3-year span beginning this year. And I'm happy to be a resource for any questions during the public comment period.
Thank you for that information. We will first open up to public comment. This is the public hearing on the PGUSD initial proposal to CSEA. You can raise your hand or come forward to the podium to make a comment. Okay, seeing none, I will bring it back to the board for any questions or discussion on this item. Clerk Shamas.
Chief Rogerman, the dates, do they typically go July 1, 26 to July 1 of 29, or is it a flexible kind of date? Or
typically the contract follows the fiscal year. So the contract typically is in effect from July 1st until June 30th of the subsequent year.
Okay,
Yeah.
so thank you.
Any other questions or comments from board members? Okay. If there is no further discussion, I will close the public hearing for this item at 5:37. And we will now move on to the action discussion portion of our agenda. Back to you, Chief Rogaman.
And there's nothing really to add here, other than we do have an accompanying action item that goes along with the same content that was brought forth in the public hearing. And so this is the portion of the meeting where the trustees will have the opportunity to vote to either approve or disapprove of the initial proposal items from PGUSD.
Thank you. As always, we'll go out to public comment on this item. Anyone in the room or online wish to make a comment? Okay, I'll bring it back to the board. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Okay. If we're done with that part, would someone like to make a motion to approve the PGUSD initial proposal for 2026 through 2029 successor negotiations with CSEA?
I so move.
Thank you. I will second. So motion made by trustee Otmar and seconded by myself. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any noes? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chief
you.
Rogaman. We will now move on to the information discussion portion of our agenda. Item A is cultural proficiency training with Ronnie Habib. And this is your item, Dr. Adamson.
Thank you so much. Well, it's my pleasure to have Roni Habib with us this evening. And as we do with all of our governance sessions, we are going to move shortly to the center of the room. But it is my pleasure. We had a chance to get a feel for, Ronnie's workshop that he does and the work that he does at our recent leadership retreat. And you are in for a treat. It's all I can say. We're looking forward to learning a little bit more about teaching, learning, living with happiness and resilience. Each of you also have a copy of his book, which is going to be something we're reading as a leadership team this year. And I'm going to really be handing it over into your very capable hands at this time, but we'll just take a few minutes to move over to our new seats. All right, thank you.
Come on in, everybody. Hey, good to see you. Let's go ahead and create a kind of like a sitting circle over here. Actually, we bring your chair. It's a running table. And I will share my screen so everyone can see the slides that we'll be presenting. Yep. Yeah, and if we want to, we can also move the tables out a little bit, give us a little more space. Very nice. I'm sure as we need, but not more than that. I'm sorry.
Repeat that.
But just so we're clear for the record,
I
like
know.
what's going on if we're
Yeah.
running and if there's supposed to be audio, so if the public did tune in, maybe like.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm happy to get my.
Oh, just because it's a public right.
Okay, feedback.
No, I'm all about participating.
That's, go.
Yes.
Um, Good evening, everyone.
Feedback?
It's so, such a pleasure to be with you all. Thank you for having me. Linda, Larry, thank you for inviting me, to do this. This is quite special for me because I got a chance to work, with the leadership team last week, and it was really beautiful and amazing. And but when I was told I get a chance to work with some of the board members and give you a sense of how our work ties into cultural efficiency and responsiveness, I got excited because I think it's very powerful to have the leaders of the districts really tune in, understand, and even get some skills yourselves with how to not only bring that to the people you lead, but really live it and live it together as a team. So thank you for being here. With our time together, really, I'd like to do three main things. I want to, again, like I said, really show you how this ties right into cultural proficiency, but also to belonging, right? Belonging and safety, psychological safety and prosperity. And I want to actually give you really pretty practical tools, right, for the leaders that they can use like right away on day one, and also for the board members, right, that you can use as well. Does that sound good? That's like the first thing I want to do. Does that sound good? Yeah. All right, cool. The second thing I want to do is I want to give us some really give you practical tools to support your own well-being and your resilience. I think that's absolutely critical, especially in this day and age with how intense leadership can be in education, and sometimes board meetings can get kind of intense, and so I think that's really important. Does that sound good? All right, cool. And then last but definitely not least, I want to have some fun. Okay, I think that's really important, especially as we learn more. Like learning happens best when we have fun and when we connect with one another. And so I want to not only have fun, like as a person, but like as a team. Does that sound good, y'all? All right, cool, awesome. So before we delve in, is it okay if I share just a little bit more about who I am? All right, cool. You all have heard this, so I'm gonna go fast, so you don't have to hear it again. But basically, I'm the founder of this company, and what we do is we bring in positive psychology, emotional intelligence, and mindfulness training to districts all over the world. And really, the idea is to really support districts to create a psychologically safe, emotionally intelligent, and joyful climate, so that things such as cultural proficiency and responsiveness really take shape, so that people actually, so teaching becomes easier in the classroom, so kids really feel like they belong, not just feel represented, but really feel like they belong. And I've been doing this for more than a decade now. It's been an amazing journey. And I just so happen to live in Santa Cruz, which is amazing for the work that we're doing. And I love my life. And before doing this, I was a teacher and also an administrator, mostly my years in Palo Alto Unified School District. And I'm going to make this story as short as I can, but basically part of the reason that what launched me into creating this company and into providing this type of service is that I had a tragedy happen when I was a teacher. One of my students unfortunately committed suicide. And it's hard. I mean, I did a workshop this morning and I talked, every time I talk about it, it's hard to even just say it, it's still very fresh for me, even though it happened a long time ago. And that incident led me to really feel very strongly that I want to help students and adults in schools thrive. And I told myself when that happened that no matter what I'm going to do moving forward, I'm going to teach kids how to be well. But I was not well. And, as we often say in education, kids can kind of. So I had to do a lot of work on myself. I saw a therapist, did a lot of mindfulness practice at work, used positive psychology principles, and my life really person. And I realized, hey, if I have the skills as an adult, we can give it to students. And I created this course for positive psychology. I made a huge difference for hundreds of kids' lives. And so that's when I launched EQ Schools and really taught teachers how to use a lot of these skills in their classrooms, and then eventually taught leaders in schools how to bring that to their staff, and then superintendents how to bring it to the districts as well as board members. So what I love about this group is that it's nice and intimate. We have a small group, and one of the nice things about that is that we can kind of go a little deeper with things. And so the more energy you give to this workshop and this connection with one another, this time together, the more you're going to get. You with me? A lot of this is about emotional intelligence and about relational intelligence. And so much of it comes from the neck down. It's not just talking about cultural proficiency or responsiveness. It's actually living it. It's actually being it. It's noticing what's going on within you. It's really being attuned and aware to somebody else. So the more energy you give to this, the more you're going to get. Sounds good? All right, cool. So for example, if I ask you to get into a mindful body position with me, like that, good. Or if I ask you to play a game with me, play a game. Or if I ask you to, give someone a high five, give them a high five. Cool? Sounds good? Awesome, great. So give someone a high five next to you and tell them you're awesome. Let's go.
You're awesome.
Yeah, you're awesome. Thank you. All right, you're awesome. So, emotional intelligence has really like four components, okay, to it, in a nutshell, okay? And it's basically emotional awareness, emotional regulation, social awareness, and relationship management. And one of the things that I wanted to start with, and let me just see what's going on in the clicker, but basically, that's okay. It's just,
Is it the same one you get along with? No, it's a different.
my entire computer is frozen.
Oh.
That's all right. Somebody's in the waiting room. I think that's the problem. I'm gonna admit them. Let's see. Yes. There you go. See, it's just about admitting more people in.
Very good.
So, when I look at these four competencies of emotional intelligence, one of the things that I realized very strongly as I've been doing this work for years now is if you think about cultural responsiveness, it really begins with awareness. With me, it begins with recognizing the lenses that we bring, regulating our own reactions, staying curious about others' experiences when they're different from ours, especially when we are challenged about certain things, right? And we realize, wow, I had a blind spot. I didn't even notice this blind spot. And then if we feel the shame that it might come with it, learning to regulate that shame so we can really continue to be curious about the other person. All of that takes emotional intelligence. And so the first thing I wanted to do today was actually an emotional regulation practice. And part of the reason I wanted to do this is because it can feel stressful doing the work that we do as leaders in education and also as board members. Listen, I'm totally open to saying this, but I've had moments where I was sitting in, board meetings in Palo Alto, and it was very intense. You with me? And hopefully, it's not as intense here, but I'm just saying these things can happen. Okay. And it's helpful to have skills to learn how to downregulate our nervous system fast so that we not only feel better and our health is not as impacted by this, but also we become smarter. We are more online and we have access to all of our intelligences, not just our brain, but also our heart and our gut, which are intelligence centers of the body. And when we practice this thing we're about to do, it's called deep rhythmic breathing. We'll take about 3 minutes to do this exercise together because we'll add a visualization to it. But understand that regulating the nervous system, in your case, you could take 25 seconds and you still feel pretty regulated, and it's be quite helpful. So when we do that and we stimulate our vagus nerve, it gives us access to these intelligence centers. Again, the gut, the heart, and the mind. And it actually helps us also reach what's called a heart coherence state, which basically allows us to feel even better and more regulated. Our HRV becomes smoother, and we feel better and we're smarter. So, if you will, go ahead and get into a mindful body posture. Your back is straight, your hands are on your lap, and your both feet are touching the ground. Perfect. And I'm going to invite you in a moment to close your eyes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if this afternoon you feel a little too tired, please don't close your eyes. You can keep your eyes half open. Okay. And if you do feel good enough, go ahead and close your eyes. And with the first few breaths, I'm just going to invite us to just notice how we feel. Just notice perhaps your feet on the ground. Just really, let's take a moment and get embodied as we breathe in and out through our nose. And you can even slow your breath down just a little bit. With the next breath, maybe notice for a moment your shoulders. Just notice, are you tensing your shoulders at all? Many of us are usually. And so maybe with your out breath, you can just relax your shoulders just a little bit. And as you relax your shoulders, perhaps with the next in breath and out breath, just notice your jaw for a moment, see if there's any tension there, and even if there is, see if you can just let go of a little bit of tension with your next exhalation. We're going to begin our rhythmic breaths, and we're going to do this for about 5 breaths. And so I'm going to invite you to breathe into a count of 4. We're going to hold for 4. I'm going to breathe out to the count of 8. So the rhythm is breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This last one, let's do slow. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keeping your breath slow and your eyes closed. I invite you to begin to bring to mind the face of a child that you love. And so continuing those slow breaths, your eyes are closed, and you're really visualizing the face of a child that you love. And it can be, of course, your own child if you're if you have kids, or it could be a grandchild, or it could be a niece or a nephew, or a student at your district. Take a moment and visualize this child smiling at you. And if you have multiple kids, it's okay, just choose your favorite. See if you can pick one. And as you see this beautiful child's face, take a moment and see details. For example, is there a dimple in their cheek? Is there a twinkle in their eyes? Is there, what do they sound like when they laugh? And let that beautiful child just completely fill you up with joy. At the end of the day, that's why we're here, right? That's why we do what we do. So take a moment and really sink into that. And I want to ask you a question, and I don't want you to think about this too much. Really just notice what comes up for you. When I ask you the following, what do you want the most for this child in their life? What do you wish for them? Notice the first word that comes to you. Just notice that. I'm going to invite you to take 2 more deep breaths with me. So let's take just 1 more. On this exhalation, you may very gently open your eyes. And when you do, just be in silence for a moment. Just allow yourself to land and just kind of Just how you feel, how your nerves feels, how your body feels. Just kind of notice for a moment. So when we do this type of activity, this type of exercise for ourselves, physiologically and biologically, this is what happens. Okay, you can see that your blood pressure rhythm becomes smoother, your heart rate variability becomes smoother, your respiration obviously becomes smoother. And that brings us back online and allows us to be a lot more effective at what we do, but not even just by a little bit, by a lot. Now, in a moment, what I'd love is for you, you'll connect with, one or two people around you. You'll share the word that came for you, okay, in this visualization. And then I'll bring you back, okay? And now the leaders who've taken my workshop last week have done this, but I'm curious also, like, hey, maybe somebody, you haven't connected with somebody else, right? And you want to, like, I'm curious what your words are, so connect with them. And also, of course, feel free to connect. You all are board members, correct? 4 of you, are you as well? Yeah, you're right. Okay, great. Okay, so we're gonna do a little intermingling. So yeah, connect with 1 or 2 people around you. What word came up for you as you saw this beautiful child's face behind you? Yeah, let's do that for a moment. Go for it.
I've had to. Yeah.
But it was different.
That she does.
Yeah.
I felt like.
And if you had to encapsulate it in a word, what would you say?
I don't want fear for them.
I did at first, I'm like, okay, I get favorites.
Kind of picture them when they were little.
Yeah.
First it was which was actually,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
I felt more.
yeah. I love that.
I see them now.
Joy or happiness. I got to see a fashion show right before I came here from my 7-year-old. So that's the
All right.
picture.
Yeah.
They were clothes shopping today.
That's
So when I got
the
home
best.
for the half hour, I got like a 10 outfit.
Yes.
That's what I had. That was my good.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, we all said joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go. So let's actually go around. I love this. Usually what I do is I just show my next slide to people, and I could usually speak to. But this is great. Let's actually go around the room real quick. And if you don't mind, just share your word, that came up for you. Okay. But maybe we'll start with you.
Happiness.
Happiness.
Joy.
Joy. Joy.
Joy.
Joy.
Talent.
Yeah. Challenge. Joy.
Safety.
Safety.
Right.
Enjoy. Okay. So as you can see in the room, joy and happiness just like takes off, right? So, and the amazing thing is that the vast majority of us say happiness. Okay. By the way, if you didn't say joy or happiness, you're still people. I just want to put that out. Right? Because safety, underneath safety, what do you want? You want them to be well, right?
Yeah, because it's hard to be happy if you're not
Yeah,
safe.
exactly, right?
Yeah.
It's a prerequisite. You got to have that, right? Yeah, for sure. So, yes. And here's the thing, in my line of work, right? I often tell people, especially in leadership, look, we know that when we give kids skills to be well and more resilient, they not only feel like they belong more, but they also, the academic achievements improve, right? However, the research shows, and it's very clear, that this only works if the adult in the room models these skills to the kids. And that adult needs to see these skills modeled by their leader at their site. And that leader needs to see the skills modeled by the leaders of the district as well. And when we do that, when that happens well, you start to see that the climate begin to shift and amazing results happen. Now, what's also very true is that when you spend a lot of time in education and you have more and more responsibilities because you take on bigger leadership roles, it's very easy for us to put our happiness and our well-being all the way. And if I were to ask your parents to do this exercise, I bet you they would say happiness for you as well, Some of you guys are like, you don't know my parents. But I mean, you know, like, they probably would say joy. They want you to be well, okay? And what's amazing about this is that it's so easy for us, again, to put our, because we're givers, we want to give. I mean, all of you are volunteering to be on the board. That's incredible, you know? And it's so important, though, that we decide, hey, we are going to put our well-being also at the forefront, because not only is our health important, but also, again, when we're well, we are much better at doing our job and actually creating the kind of climate that leads to cultural responsiveness. So I wrote this book, and in my book, there's an acronym called RAMP. And I'm going to go through it really, really fast with you, because I actually want us to be more active and kind of get into some of the activities we're going to do as a team and also individually. And so RAMP basically represent the 5 elements that contribute, not only they're top predictors of well-being and resilience, but it turns out that they are very strong predictor of leadership, as well as strong predictor of teaching success in the classroom and effective pedagogy, essentially. So R stands for relationships. Relationships are the #1 predictor of well-being by far. And the reason for it is because if you think of Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? We need shelter, we need food. After those 2 have been met, what we crave, what all of us crave, is to be seen, and to belong. We all need that. And when we talk about its relationships, if we allow the people that we lead to feel seen, that makes a massive difference. If we allow each other to feel seen in this team, massive difference. And it requires a little bit of vulnerability sometimes, you know, to allow others to open up and to hold space for them, and then to let ourselves open up a little bit. Now, what's amazing to me is that everyone wants to be seen, even the most curmudgeon people in the world. The biggest curmudgeons still want to be seen, you know? Is it okay if I share a quick story with you guys from my life? It's kind of funny. So my brother is a stand-up comedian in New York. His name's Nathan Habib. True story. Check him. Okay, but you have to understand he's a curmudgeon. Okay, like he's a curmudgeon, and he left to New York, and I called him up, and I was like, "Hey, I wrote a gratitude letter to you. I want to share it with you. I think it'll be a nice way for us to bond." And I called, you know, so I was like, "Can I do that?" And basically his response was, "Oh, do we have to do that?" And I was like, "We don't have to do it, but I think it'd be cool, you know." So I read him the whole letter, and at the end of the letter, his response is, "Oh, that was so painful." So I'm like, all right, that didn't work, you know? And 15 minutes later, I get a text from him saying, "Hey, moving to New York's been really hard. I have no friends here. And actually hearing you say these words has been right." And the thing is, I'm never going to hear him say it because he's a curmudgeon. Do you know what I'm saying? But the fact that I got this text shows you, right? Like everyone wants to be seen. And so even think about in your life, you know, like who is that person that you could give a little bit, just a little bit of like that gift of time and attention, even this week, for them to feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm not alone, you know? And by the way, it doesn't have to be a curmudgeon. It could be someone you really care about, like maybe your mom, you know, or your spouse, because, you know, life, you know, it goes by so fast that often the relationship we love the most or care about the most get neglected and we take for granted. And giving them that gift is not only a gift for them, it's for us as well. Okay. A lot more to relationships, of course, in the context of leadership, but and we're going to uncover that, unfold that. But I just want to move on to the next one. The next one is awareness, and awareness is about really being present and being here, because life is lived here in the present. And so, for example, it's noticing what is going on within my body, within my nervous system, as we're talking about something that perhaps maybe can elicit some discomfort for someone, or maybe even for myself. Is my chest constricting? Am I noticing my heart beating faster? What's going, like, you know, and the more awareness you have about what's happening inside of you, the more wisdom you have about downregulating your nervous system, information to be able to use these emotions and actually use them wisely towards connecting with others and then within yourselves. But you have to be present for that. You have to notice what's going on. And also, It allows you to be a lot more present with others, to be a better listener, for example, to really notice what's going on. And if you think about leadership, especially in meetings like board meetings where you really need to listen sometimes, you have to listen the whole time, but sometimes you really, really need to be there and listen, not just to the words, but to the emotions underneath. That kind of listening really allows a person to feel seen and open up. And is it okay if I share another little funny story about awareness? Because I want to ask you a question, and let's just be real, like with one another for a moment. Like, how much time do you spend in your head, okay, worrying about the future or ruminating about the past, as opposed to being here? You know what I'm saying? Most of us spend most of the time, right, in the past or in the future, as opposed to being here. And around 8 years ago, no, 9 years ago now, I get to my house and I open the door and my son greets me, and he was 7 years old. He gives me a big hug. I came back from a work trip, he gives me a hug and he says, Abba, he calls me Abba, I'm Israeli. He's like, hey, I want to build stegosaurus out of Legos with you right now on the carpet. So I'm like, all right, so I get down on the floor and I start building this thing with him. And as soon as I start building it, my mind goes to, is our flight booked for my next trip? Like, is our workshop, full? All this, work stuff, right? That's like, and my son, who was 7 years old at the time, looks up at me and he says, Abba. And I'm like, what? And he's like, Stegosaurus. You know what I'm saying? He caught me and he knew, he could tell, right? And I don't know about you all, but when I'm with my kids, I want to be I don't have a lot of time with my kids. And when I'm with my kids, I want to be with my kids because they can tell when you're there and you're not there. Same is true with the people that we lead. They can tell when we're there versus when we're not there. So the second A, third letter in RAM, is about advancement. Advancement is essentially pursuing lifelong goals. Professional goals, personal goals, especially goals that scare us because, hey, those are the best goals to pursue. Okay? They elicit courage. M stands for meaning. Meaning is about really being connected to your purpose. And actually, not just finding purpose, but recreating purpose in your life. Okay? And that's so important for leaders because people are magnetized to leaders who are connected to their purpose. And your purpose when you're 25 is different than when you're 45 or 55 or 60. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and the other piece about this is there's real power in connecting to stories that lead you to realize why you're doing what you're doing. And so I just want to take a moment and do this with you all. Let me ask you a question. Why are you here? Why are we all here? And I think the answer for all of us is we're here for the kids. I mean, this is why we're here, I mean, if that's not your answer, that's fine. Just putting that out there, okay? We're all here for the kids, okay? Now, great, but underneath that story, underneath that answer, you have your own unique story. And every single one of us has a unique story, okay? You decide to be a part of the board member of the board because you have a story underneath that lit you up on fire to do this work, okay? And same with the leaders, right? Like of the district in the cabinet. So one of my stories, for example, when I was 8, I was a kid. I moved from Israel to Belgium. And in Israel, I had a lot of friends. I spoke the language, of course, as a kid. And I get to Brussels. And if you've never been to Brussels, it is cold. It is gray. It's a huge city. I don't speak the language. I have no friends. And I'm put in a French-speaking school, and I'm told swim. And I freaked out. I mean, I just didn't know what didn't know what to do. And I was 8 and I was young and I started crying sometimes, And my teacher apparently was so overwhelmed with me that she made a decision at some point. She decided, unfortunately, that every time I was about to cry, she would mock me. Talk about doesn't that just hurt the heart to hear that? Talk about just making sure a person does not feel like they belong. Yeah. And it was very effective. Don't ever do it. But it's awful. Don't ever even think about that right. After many, many years of therapy, I've forgiven this woman. She did the best she could, but no teacher should resort to such craziness, right? And frankly, no kid should ever experience that. I mean, that's so awful, right? That is one story that just lights me up on fire, and I will do everything in my power in my life. As long as I live, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that kids don't experience it. And they experience the opposite. Okay. And so what is your story? And it's important you connect to it. Because when you connect to it, you can last for years and years, decades and decades with such magnetism that people want to follow you. Okay. P stands for positive emotions. And ideally, to thrive, we need a 3-to-1 ratio of positive emotions in life to difficult emotions. Okay. This is the research of Barbara Fredrickson and Sonia Lubomirsky. And just so you know, most Americans are at a 1-to-1, and most teenagers after the pandemic are less than that. So we're very far away from thriving. And in schools, we can actually build that ratio up, okay, for kids and also for our staff and for ourselves. By the way, teams that thrive have a 6-to-1 ratio of positive interactions to difficult interaction. The reason the ratio is so lopsided is because our brains register negative events a lot with much more weight. So we need to counteract that. Marriages and romantic relationships that really thrive have a 5-to-1 ratio of positive interactions to difficult. Sometimes I share this and people are like, ooh, but that's all right. Now you know. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. All right. But notice one thing, and this is important. Even with the individual ratio, the 3-to-1 is not, the ratio is not 3-to-0. You understand? So we will feel difficult emotions. Like doubt is going to come up. Maybe fear might come up. Maybe even, like shame sometimes. Whatever, these things could come up. And if they do, the more we name them and allow them to be, the easier they become because we tame them. Whatever you name, you begin to tame. If you resist them, they'll persist. They'll become bigger. And so when we do that well for ourselves and model that as leaders to others, they begin to do that too. And you start to see teachers be gentle with themselves, as they are teaching in the classroom and leading others. So the reason I end with emotions is because I think you know that this is true. Emotions are contagious, okay? Negative emotions are very contagious. But it turns out positive emotions are even more contagious than negative. And so, and what's amazing about leadership, if you think about it, it's about motivating people, right? And there are many ways that you can motivate people. But one of the fastest ways to motivate them is to create what's called resonance, emotional resonance, okay, with one another. There's a lot of ways to get them, but let me define this for you. Emotional resonance is when our brains are in sync in a positive way with one another. Okay? So it feels good to be together. It feels good to be with you. I don't have to think about it. Just feel like it feels safe, it feels good, and we can thrive together. Now, there's a lot of ways to get there. For example, inspiring people, creating a safe space for people, really listening to people when they need to feel listened to, giving someone a hug, consensual hug, okay, that creates resonance, okay? But the fastest way to get to resonance is actually through laughter. And to me, one of the fastest ways to do it is to play, especially in schools, especially in classrooms, especially with staff meetings. Because when people play together, people learn and work better together. There's a lot of research to show that that's true. And what I'd like to do, instead of just talking about it all the time, actually, let's just play a little bit. Like, let's play some games together. We're going to be on our feet for a little bit here. And the games I'll show you are games. They're going to be fun. They're going to connect us as a team, but understand also that they're very much leadership tools as well. Okay. And part of the reason that they are is because essentially what we're doing is we're priming our people's brains and our brain to be much more creative, collaborative, and want to learn more things together. So let's go ahead and stand on our feet. This first game we're going to play, And by the way, I'm gonna introduce some new games too that you all haven't seen. Okay, we'll do some that you saw, some that you haven't seen. This first game we're gonna play, you played before. It has a very unfortunate name. It's called Pass the Clap. Now, I promise you, it's a safe game. It's a safe game. All right, I'm gonna clap. I know. I'm gonna clap, Larry's gonna clap, etc. Okay, we're gonna go around the circle, and it's a small circle, but let's just go fast. You ready? Here we go. Very good, beautiful. Nice. Now, we're gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna say ready, set, go, and Larry's gonna clap, and then, we'll continue. But we're gonna have the clap go around the circle in less than 3 seconds. Yeah, we're gonna do this in less than 3 seconds. You all ready? By the way, let's say we go around the circle and we do it in 4 seconds or 5 seconds. Let's just say we fail. Okay. Well, folks, we're gonna celebrate our failures like crazy. Okay. And we're just gonna have fun with that. Okay. And we're gonna be a little like pretend you're kids for a moment. We made a mistake and we're gonna actually celebrate the mistake. Okay. And it's gonna look like, you ready? It's gonna look like this. Okay. Now I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, and I want everyone to go woohoo with me, but like with energy, pizzazz, and jazz hands. Okay. And really give me some energy. Y'all ready? Here we go. I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1. We're all gonna go woohoo. Okay. 3, 2, 1. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna say ready, set, go, Larry. You're gonna clap, and we're gonna go around the circle in 3 seconds or less. But again, if fail, we're all gonna woohoo. Yes? Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, something happened to my phone. Try again. Here we go, Larry. You ready? Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go. 1.89. Okay, very good, very good. Let's do it on the 1.5. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. 1.51. Very nice. Okay, cool. So that's past the clock. Now, we played for less than 30 seconds. What do you notice already with the circle? Yes, for sure. What else do you notice? Smiling. There's some smiling. Yeah. You notice you're a little bit more here.
Tingly hair.
There's yes. Right. And do you notice like you're a little bit more present, like a little bit more here because there's a clap coming? You know what I'm saying? Right. So games put us in a very mindful state. Okay. The next game we're going to play is called the name game, name and gesture. Now, this is great because we're a small group, so we can do this. So I want you to think of a very simple gesture that you can do while you say your name that in some way represents who you are. It doesn't have to be a big just in some. So for example, my gesture might be like Ronnie. Okay. And I'll do my gesture and I'll say my name. So like Ronnie. Okay. Think of a gesture for a moment for yourself. And we're gonna go around the circle. And it could be like this, it could be this, it could whatever you want. Simple gesture, okay? And we're gonna start with Larry. And as soon as you do yours, what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually like essentially say your name with your gesture after you say it. We're gonna basically repeat after you. So let's start with me for a moment, just so we can kind of see how it feels. So I'm gonna go Ronnie, and everyone's gonna go Ronnie. Very good, awesome. Now go ahead, Larry. Larry, nice. Larry, very good. Yes.
Yolanda.
Yolanda. Oh, Josh. Yes. Yes.
Linda.
Linda. Here.
Jen.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now what we're gonna do is this. I am going to say my name, all right? And then I'm gonna pass this to someone else by saying their name and doing their gesture. Now, that doesn't mean you need to remember everyone's name and gesture. You do not need to remember everyone's names and gesture. In fact, you will see as we do this, you'll get reminded of people's names and gestures, and you can just say one person, okay? You're just passing it around. Now, before we do that, let's just very quickly go around the circle again, like much faster this time. Okay, so Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Larry. Oh, Larry. Larry. Yep.
Yolanda.
Yolanda. Josh.
Linda.
Here.
Carrie.
Jen.
Jen. Mike.
Laura, very good. Now, so I'm gonna pass this, so I'm gonna start, so I'll say like Ronnie and Carrie, okay? Now then Carrie, you do yours, you carry, and then you pass. Very good, Jen, very good. Now Jen.
Jen and Laura.
Very good.
Laura and.
Nice.
Let's see. Yolanda and Beth. Beth and Linda.
Oh.
And Larry.
Nice. Larry and Mike. Yes. Very good. Yeah, keep going, keep going.
Okay, just.
Yeah.
Josh and Jen.
Very good.
Jen and Beth.
Beth and Laura.
Nice, yeah,
Laura and Ronnie.
nice. Ronnie and Mike.
Mike and Larry.
Very good. Now, pause for a moment. Here's what we're gonna do next. We're about to kick it up a lot. Okay? We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going just like we did right now, but as this is happening, I'm gonna throw a second one in. So Larry's gonna continue and then I'm gonna say, he's gonna go pass it to Josh, let's say, and I'm gonna go Ronnie and then I'll do Linda's. Okay, and so there's gonna be two of them going around, so you have to really pay attention.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
Now, I know, it's hard, it's intense. Yes, I know. Do the best you can, and here's the thing, help each other out too. So for example, if I go Ronnie, Linda, but I forgot the gesture, so you help me with the gesture. So what, yeah, so Linda, right? And then Linda is gonna take hers and pass it. Make sense? All right,
Okay.
cool. So we'll go with one for a little bit and then I'll choose the second one. Go, Larry.
Larry and Carrie.
Very nice.
Oh,
Carrie and Josh.
Nice.
Josh and Laura.
Very good.
Laura and Linda.
Nice.
Linda and Beth.
Very good. Ronnie and Josh. Keep going, keep going. Yeah. Ronnie, Josh.
Josh and Mike. Mike and
Josh, pass it to. From you.
Yolanda and.
Beth and. Yeah.
Josh?
Jen
Oh.
and Larry.
Very good.
Larry
Oh,
and.
We lost someone.
We lost one. It's okay, keep going.
Josh
Keep going.
and.
Yeah, very good. Keep going, keep going. Yes,
Carrie and Laura.
yes.
Laura and Linda.
You can pass it to someone.
Linda and Mike.
Okay, very good.
Mike
All right.
and Ronnie.
Very good. Ronnie, and we're gonna stick with one. That's all right. Let's give each other a whoosh for playing. So stay
What do we
standing. What it is, listen, a whoosh is just good energy from the heart center saying, thanks for playing. You know, thanks for being here and showing up. We'll play many more games, but for now, let's just give each other a whoosh. You all ready? It looks like this. It's 1, 2, 3, and a whoosh. Okay.
Whoosh.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, and a whoosh. Awesome. Very good. Let's do this next one. This is called energy circle, and it looks like this. Okay, I'm going to I'm gonna do a gesture and make a noise with it, and I'm gonna do it like quietly at first. Okay, and so for example, mine might be like meow. Okay, and so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna say meow, and then we're gonna go around the circle, and each one of you is gonna do the same gesture and this sound, but it's gonna slowly increase in intensity throughout the circle, and I'm gonna do it last, and we're gonna do it the loudest and the biggest. Okay, so it kind of looks like this. So meow. Do you do it? Just a little bit more. Meow, meow. Very good. Just a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah.
Meow.
Very good.
Meow.
Very good.
Meow.
Yes.
Meow.
Yes.
Meow.
Yes.
Meow.
Yes. A little more. Yes. A little more. Meow. Very good. Yes. Very good. That was big. Very good.
Ah.
Yes. Yes. Start slow. That's
something
quiet.
slow.
That's quiet. Yeah.
Could be anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. That's right. Yes. Good. See if you can make it even bigger. Yes. Yes. Nice.
Oh.
And big one. Yes. Perfect job. Go ahead. Yes. Nice.
It's the high school.
Very nice. Nice. Even bigger. Yeah.
Boom.
Bigger.
Boom.
Nice. Bigger.
Boom. Boom.
Boom. Boom. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Big one. Yes. And- For the mic, yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
And biggest, Linda. That's fine. Okay, very good. There we go. Nice. Very good. A little bigger. A little bigger. Eek. Eek. And biggest. Nice, very good. Here we go, Jen. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. That was great. Go ahead, sir. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Go for it. I love this. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Yes, yes. Biggest.
Ah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, yes. Yes. Nice. And biggest. Yeah. Beautiful. Let's give it up on yours. Great. One and awesome. Oh, awesome. Here we go. You two are actually look good. You two are up there. All right. Okay. You two are up there. You two are up there. You two will be up there and we're gonna be up there.
Okay.
Okay, so Carrie and I are gonna show you how this game works. So this is a game that's also, it's an attention game, but it's also a game that it's not just an attention for yourself, but also very much like a social awareness kind of game. Not just, by the way, just so you know, with all the games we've played so far, these games elicit you obviously with positive emotions, laughter and connection and all that. And if you read the research of Barbara Fredrickson, she shows that when people experience these types of emotions together like this, it's called the broaden and build theory, basically, of positive emotion. The idea is that positive emotions like that open us to possibilities, and they allow us essentially to become more creative, more collaborative, and we want to learn more. And if you think about it from a research perspective, let's take the opposite for a moment. Let's take a difficult emotion like fear. Let's say. When we fear something, our mindset narrows on it and constricts on it, right? You fear something, it's like a tunnel vision on that. And a lot of times it basically cycles and it becomes even more fearful and all that. And you can, right? Positive emotions literally break that cycle. They have the opposite effect. So it doesn't mean we shouldn't feel difficult emotions. It simply means that positive emotions can be quite powerful at expanding our mindset. Super important for doing good work together. Okay, so the next game is called 1, 2, 3. Okay. Some of us have played before, but let's see, you know, what happens now for this. And the way it's going to work is, and we'll demonstrate if that's okay. I will say 1, Carrie, right? You'll say 2, and I'm going to say 3. Then Carrie will say 1, I'm going to say 2, and she's going to say 3, and then so on and so forth. Okay. Now, here's the thing: we're a team. So if one of us makes a mistake, we are both going to own it, and we're both going to go, woo! Okay, and then we're going to restart, basically. Okay, so we'll show you real quick. 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 1, 3, 2, 3. Got it. All right, makes sense? Makes sense. Yeah. Do the best you can. And listen, if you mess up, whatever, woohoo. Okay, and then like you restart. Cool. All right, here we go. Just go first.
1,
1,
2, 1, 3,
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1,
1,
3, 1, 2,
1,
1,
3,
1.
1,
3,
2,
2.
1, 2, 3.
I know.
1,
1,
2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, now pause for a moment. Very good, very good. All I'm doing way too good is I'm not hearing enough whoops, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna make it slightly more complicated. Here's what we're gonna do. Now, instead of saying 1, you're gonna clap on 1. And you will still say 2 and say 3. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, now
Right.
we're here.
Okay.
You two
Ready?
Okay, all right, here we go. Go, give it a shot.
Two.
Three.
Two.
Two.
Three.
Three.
Two.
Two.
Three.
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 Two.
Three.
Three. One.
Two.
Ah.
Three.
Two.
Three.
Two. Three. Two. Three. Oh. Three.
Three. Two. What we're gonna do is we're gonna clap on one, we're gonna snap on two. And we're gonna say three, okay? So you clap on one, you snap on two, you say three. You two are gonna go, you'll observe this. Okay?
Bad for now.
You wanna confirm?
Are we snapping or thumb?
Three.
Okay.
One,
Snap
two,
three.
snap
And
two,
you say three.
We're gonna get to it. One.
You say
Three.
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 Three. Three. Three. Three.
Three.
Three.
Nice, yes.
Three. Three.
One.
Three.
Three.
All right.
Okay.
Pause actually for a moment. We'll, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna clap on one, we're gonna snap on two, and we're gonna stomp on three, okay? So clap, snap, stomp on three. You can go and give it a shot. The first turn into the day.
Oh, no.
Yes. Okay, now pause for a moment. Now pause for a moment. Now here's what I'd love for you to do to try this out. Okay, go back to simply saying 1, 2, 3. Or like, I don't know, 15 seconds, okay? Just to say 1, 2, 3, and then see what happens, okay? Give it a shot, go.
One.
One.
Three.
One,
Three.
two,
Two.
three.
Three.
One.
Two.
Three.
One,
Two.
two, three.
One.
One,
Two.
two,
Three.
one,
Oh.
two,
Okay,
three.
very
One,
good.
two,
Pause,
three.
pause.
Awesome.
Pause.
Yeah,
Okay,
uh-huh.
so
Yeah.
let's go ahead and circle for a moment. Let me tell you what happened at the end.
Easier.
Easier, right now, okay, so here's the crazy thing about this. Why was it easier at the end? Now, you could say, listen, Ronnie, we did the harder thing and we came back and it was easier because we practiced. Of course, that's a part of it, you know what I'm saying? But why else was it easier at the end? Yeah, there's a kinetic knowing component for sure. What else?
Like working together.
Yeah,
Putting together, yeah.
Your partner.
You're in
better.
sync.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're in
sync,
sync.
yeah.
Beautiful. You know your partner better. And we played for like 2 minutes. You with me?
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
know your partner better. You in sync. How many of you noticed it got easier the less you thought about it? The less you were in your head.
This one.
Yeah, and you were just more together. Beautiful. When you're in sync in this way, in psychological term, that's called looping. When you loop with another person, oxytocin gets released into your bloodstream and you feel like you're connected and you belong. When we talk about belonging in this district, belonging in the classroom, when we talk about really making someone feel seen, not just feel represented, feel seen, cared about, you know what I mean? Those moments are the things that do it. Because those moments of connection, joy, and feeling like, hey, you know what, we messed up together. Okay. And we're okay. We don't have to be perfect. We're humans together. Those moments are the moments where, like, in a few months, if there's a disagreement, remember this person. And let me just check my assumptions for a moment. Let me check what's going on for me. How can I learn and grow in order to really make them feel like they belong?
Can I interrupt for a second? Just that little woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Like, for me, like in the classroom,
Yes.
like the fear that a lot of students bring to the classroom, like just the fact that we're acknowledging that making a mistake is okay, I think brings that safety element in there that like needs to be there before they can experience the joy.
I love that you say that. Talking about, I think you mentioned, right, safety in the beginning, right? So let's actually take it to a biological level. Go ahead and do this with me. This is you. We're gonna do like a handy model of the brain. Okay, imagine for a moment this is your brain. Okay, now this, by the way, comes from Daniel Siegel, who's an interpersonal neurobiologist, UCLA. So imagine for a moment that this is the brain stem in your brain. So the part essentially that makes sure you're breathing and all of this. The palm of your hand represents the limbic system. The limbic system is where emotions get processed. Emotional reasoning part of the brain. If you put your thumb over it, the thumb can represent the amygdala, which is the organ in our brain that puts us into fight, flight, or freeze, which is very helpful when there's a car that's about to come knock us out, we get out of the way. Okay. Now, if you make a fist, this represents the neocortex, and the fingertips represent the prefrontal cortex. This is exactly where we want our students to be, staff to be. This is where great learning takes place. But when a kid, or by the way, an adult, certainly though, when a kid feel like they don't belong, for whatever reason, by the way, maybe they look different, maybe they think everyone else is smarter than they are, when we know it's not true, but like they really believe that. When they think they don't belong, that they're living. And I often tell teachers, it does not matter how amazing your lesson is, you can have an incredible lesson. If a kid lid is flipped, he's in fight, or she is in fight, flight, or freeze. And no learning is going to take place, just as they were saying. So our job, if we really are going to take cultural responsiveness seriously, we're going to take belonging seriously, and certainly academic achievement seriously, is to make sure that everyone's latest back is down first, including our own. Okay. And I'll tell you a funny story about the woohoos. In my classroom, I trained my students to just be like, hey, you don't understand something, you made a mistake, woohoo, And I would teach, like AP economics and stuff, honestly, that sometimes grad schools have your students. So there were moments in my classes where, let's say a lot of kids understood the concepts, but then, we practiced it, and one student was just like completely lost. And we would it would be quiet, everyone's working hard, and all of a sudden there's like a whoop. And we just knew, okay, this person needs some help, but it wasn't a bad, it was like a joyful help. Does that make sense? Because they're going to move. They're less afraid. It's okay, everyone's going. Okay, beautiful. Next thing we're gonna do is we're you two together now, right? Okay, you two will be together. You two will be together. Oh, you were before together. Okay, great. So you two are going to be together. You two will be together. You two, actually, you three are going to do this together. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. Oh, you have a partner? Okay, great. Yes, sorry. Yes. So here's what we're going to do. Yes, yes. We're going to tell a story together. Okay. And so I would like for one of you, actually anyone, give me a name of a man or a woman.
Bob.
Bob, great. Let's go with Bob. Give me an animal that starts with B.
Say bobcat, but that's too.
Oh, that's okay. We can do Bob the Bobcat.
Bob the Bobcat.
Yeah, Bob.
In the
some
kindergarten.
Bobcat, sure. I like it. And then give me an adjective that starts with B.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. I love it. Nice. So we're going to tell the story of Bob, the beautiful Bobcat. Okay. And here's how it's going to work. One of you is going to, is there somebody named Bob?
No, that's why I picked him.
Oh, good, very good. All right.
Oh, well.
So what you're going to do is,
Great.
yeah, it's all right. All right. So one of you is going to be partner A, and you're going to start the story. And you're literally going to be like, Bob, the beautiful Bobcat, blah, 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 blah. Invent the story, okay? At some point, I'm going to go switch, and then partner B, you're going to take over. And then I'll say switch again, partner A, take over. Same story, right? Switch, partner. Make sense? Until I tell you to pause. Yes, you build on. It's the same story. And then I'll tell you to pause. And when I tell you to pause, you just follow my instructions. In this case, Good?
Okay.
All right, wonderful. So one of you will start, you decide who partner A is, and Bob, the beautiful Bobcat.
This Bobcat lived in.
Bobcat.
If you don't know, and loved to pick flowers. Today, Bob picked a lot of flowers to his paws until he filled up his basket.
Chase after Lane.
Once he would fill up his basket with flowers, he would bring the basket of flowers down to the river and float the basket down the river. And then Bob would go back to Bob's beautiful bed and
Switch.
Deer across the meadow. Looked over his shoulder and he saw Bob still prowling after him. Bob made it out of the forest and was still chasing the deer. But the deer knew immediately he was in a bad situation. Because he did know.
And switch.
But Bob realized that the beautiful dads were also good dads who picked flowers for their children. And didn't feel like killing them.
And switch.
Bobcat stopped floating the basket down the river full of flowers and picked up into.
So Donnie the deer, Donnie's friend. So much.
First,
No longer one-on-one.
With the roses, they didn't realize all the roses.
Oh.
I make flower next to it. So the flowers.
And switch.
Oh, I guess my
Bobcat.
just vegetarian.
Snarling.
Forest
He looked at him
and found
and
the
said,
ducks
"Hey,
and
you're
had a
out
conversation.
Bob, the beautiful Bobcat."
How can
And they decided to play a little money.
End the story with the following sentence then. And ever since that day, okay? But now it's gonna go word for word, so it'll be like, and ever since that, that makes sense. You end the story that way, go.
And
Ever
since that
day,
Bob.
what's
Beautiful.
Bobcat. Fluffy, bunny.
no longer
Realized
longer,
he
Beautiful.
like
And
not
friendship together forever.
Donnie,
but
the deer.
feed.
Congrats.
Awesome. Day,
enjoyed.
Yes.
high cholesterol.
Very good. Give your partner a whoosh, 3, 2, 1, and 8. Big circle together. All right, I'm dying to know what happened to Bob the Bobcat. Anybody will share a synopsis, quick synopsis. Bob the
Became vegetarian.
Oh,
All right.
that's, you know.
Well, that's sort
He found a good cage at the zoo.
Hey, if that's.
of. Admired.
Hey, yeah, it was a time, found a good, that's a little bit dark, but that's good. Very good. No, I like it. I like it. Cool. Anybody else? Bob the Bobcat? Oh.
Very sweet.
Very good. Okay, awesome. We'll do like 2 more before we sit down. So this next one is called I Am a Tree. And here's how it's going to work. So I am going to be in the middle and you'll close the circle around me. And I'm going to pretend to be a tree. And I'm going to proclaim that I'm a tree. So I may stand like this, like I'm a tree. Okay. And then one person is going to join the circle and essentially add to this scene and proclaim that there's something that makes sense, you know, to add to the scene. Okay. So I'm a tree. Anybody else? I'm a bird. Very good. I'm a bird and
I'm a flower.
awesome. And now listen, the scenes end with 3 people. Very good. So bird, flower. Awesome. And listen,
This is for you.
I started the scene and I get to decide who stays and who leaves. Okay. So flower, you're gonna leave with me. And you're gonna remind us, so you come back to the circle, flower, very good with me, beautiful. And you remind us what you are.
I'm a bird.
You're a bird. And a new scene starts and somebody joins the bird in a new scene.
Butterfly.
Nice, you're a butterfly, and then somebody else comes in.
I'm an airplane.
Nice. Very good. Now, you started the scene, Birch. You decide who stays and who leaves.
Oh. Bill, the plane has to leave.
The plan has to be with you. You also leave. And then you remind us what you are, which is?
I'm a.
Very good. And the new scene starts. Go.
Yes.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Perfect. Yeah. Somebody else can do that. And we started to see, so.
All aboard the next guy.
Boy, with the next gotta go good. The mom stays, right? So you go to the circle, very good. Okay, thank you very much. Go for it. Yes. I'm a superintendent.
I'm the teacher.
You started, so stay.
Maybe we're gonna take the superintendent.
Here we go. Very good.
On the desk.
You're risky. Stay or leaves. You decide who stays. and who leaves.
I think that the base to go.
All right.
Okay, very good.
Apple
Apple,
stays,
very
right?
nice.
So very good.
Good. I am a worm.
Okay, hungry person stays.
That was a non-consensual warning. I apologize.
I'm gonna bite you, but I.
Yes. Yes. And what are you?
Person.
I'm a person with food.
Yes. Nice.
I'm silverware.
Very good, very good. Keep going for one more. Go, keep going. Yes.
Okay, the person with food has to go.
Silverware.
Where?
The spoon and the fork.
I'm a department store.
The bowl.
Yeah,
I like
Okay, you and I are out. Let's go department store.
Department.
Connecticut.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm a janitor.
Oh, pretty good.
Janitor stays.
Okay.
Janitor.
I'm a piece of trash.
Well, you're not, Larry.
That's sweet. Yeah, somebody else come in? Okay, yes.
Oh, wait, I guess it'd be on.
A mop stays.
Okay.
Mop stays.
Trash has to go.
Mop stays, very good. Yeah, I like it, that's good. Mop.
Anyone room?
Nice, nice.
Vacuum cleaner.
Yes. I love it, I love it, I love it. Congratulations.
Get them off with the broom go.
Yes, very good. Stay. Two more, here we go.
I'm the extension cord. Or
Yes.
Go far.
Nice. I'm an outlet like that.
All right, I think that the extension cord stays.
Oh.
Extension cord, very good. Yes. Somebody come in.
I'm not a Christmas tree.
Oh, hi. Like,
One more.
I'm an electric vehicle.
Yeah. Give each other a look. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. 2, 1 in unison. We go 3, 2, 1 and A. All right, last one we're gonna do before we sit down is called convert. Okay. The way this works is anyone can think of a random word that other people would be able to understand, okay? And pick something simple, maybe chair, dog, nature, or whatever, okay? And when you have that word, don't say it out loud, just raise your hand, okay? So, yes. We'll go with you, and then maybe one more person. Yeah, go with you two. I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, and you two are gonna say your word loud enough so that the rest of us can hear one, okay? You ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Balloon.
Balloon and rock. Rock. Great. So we're gonna work off of balloon and rock, two random words. Now, in your mind right now, your job is to come up with a word that you think commonsensically connects those two words in one way or another. Balloon rock. Okay, and once you have that word, don't say it out loud, just raise your hand and I'll call on. Great, we'll go with you and one more. Wait, okay, so we go 3, 2, 1.
Grounded. Grounded.
Grounded and string. String, great. Grounded and string. Awesome. So now we're working off of those two words. And if you have a word that connects those two in your mind, don't say it out loud, just raise your hand. Okay? Grounded and string. Great. We have one hand up. Second, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Anchor.
Theory. Anchor and
Theory.
theory. Okay, great. Now we're working off of anchor and theory. Yes.
Theory.
Yes. I know. Okay, we're working off of anchor and theory. And if you have a word that connects those two, don't say it out loud, just raise your hand. Anchor and theory. Great. You 2, 3, 2, 1.
Sailor.
Boat and
Sailor.
sailor. We're getting there. Now, here's the thing. The object of the game, of course, two people where then I go 3, 2, 1, and they say the same word. You can get there. Sailor and boat. Okay, great. And by the way, no repeats, no word. I'm not repeating any word. Sailor and boat. We'll go with you two. We'll go 3, 2, 1.
Ocean.
Right?
I love
Whoosh.
it.
Yes.
That's
Magic. You with me? That's magic.
Oh, because Gary was so juice.
But like when we experience, that's resonance, you with me? And what's amazing about moments like that, I'll tell you a funny story from my classroom actually, okay? So I had two 17-year-old boys who were too cool forever. Like, this sucks, the whole time, okay? And I was like, what am I gonna do with these two, you know? And it turns out, well, I didn't know this at the time, but when I talked to them a little bit later, it was pretty clear they actually didn't feel very connected to the school at all. They didn't feel like they belonged, okay? And they had this attitude, and we played this game, and they stood next to each other. They didn't know each other very well. They knew of each other, but not, you know, well, they just knew each other. And they both raised their hand. I go 3, 2, 1, and they both say Gatorade. What ensued blew me away, okay? 17-year-old boys, way too cool for school forever. They turn to face one another, they hug each other, and they jump together, okay? 17-year-old, okay? The next day, I put him on a project, you know, to work, and it flew. It just flew. Now, the whole time, of course, they go, Gatorade. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a win. They're working. You know what I'm saying? It's a win. So again, all these little moments, right? That's what leads to us to feel like we belong, to really prosper, right? Once you belong, you can start to learn and you can feel safer. Okay, so let's give each other one last wish before we sit down. Is it okay, by the way, a quick question for you. It is 6:55. Would you like a break now? Like a 15-minute break? Is that good?
maybe
7.
10? Middle? Great.
7.
We'll go 10. We'll go. 7 is not really a break. I'm gonna put this out there. Let's do at least 10, okay? Here we go, right?
I brought a
3,
board.
2, 1, and then whoosh. Very good, right.
Tell the public that at
So
9:10.
7:05, you're back, right?
Yeah.
7:05. And by the way, let's form the circle, okay? When we're out, like, let's back, let's be in a standing circle. All right. Yes. Just a quick activity before we sit down. And this one, we're gonna have a little fun with. It's called Circle of Sages because we're all sages. What we're gonna do, it's otherwise known as Circle of Wisdom, is we're gonna create a wise sentence together. And the way it's gonna work is I'll start the sentence. And I'm just gonna say a word. Okay, and then we'll say a word, and then we'll say a word Josh said. Make sense? And the sentence will naturally come to a closure at some point, to an end. And then when it comes to an end, we're all going to just put our hands together and say, yes. And then the next person is going to start a new sentence. Go ahead and join. Let's make sure we're all in the circle. Very good. So I'll start with cats.
Went
Two.
Went to the store.
Two.
Five. Yeah.
For a wise sentence.
A wise.
Yes. But honestly, it could be whatever.
Yesterday.
I
Decided.
Two.
Swim.
At.
the.
Fountain.
Yes.
Country.
Music.
Is.
Very.
Patriotic.
Yes.
Let's see. Sky.
Vodka.
Yes.
Taste.
Terrible.
Yes.
Pie.
Choose.
Yes. Due to the worst, 3, 2, 1, and 8. Thanks for playing. Have a seat, but let's make sure we're close to one another. Sit down. And you know, sometimes, yes, sometimes people tell me, listen, I'm charged with getting bottom line results. You know, like why do all these things that we do around happiness and connection and belonging, why do they matter? You know, and the answer to that, especially in the context of what your district is focused on, is actually quite profound. And that is what the research shows. That is, if you want to get results, focus on your climate and create psychologically safe, joyful, and emotionally intelligent mind. That drives results. Now, if you think about psychological safety in particular, psychological safety is cultural responsiveness in action. It really creates the conditions for people to bring their identities, their experience and perspective without fearing, you know, like judgment, and while being seen. And when we talk about teams and about doing really good work, psychological safety, which comes from emotional resonance, all of this experience that we've had so far, for example, right? That leads to psychological safety over time, which, by the way, over time leads to trust. It takes time to get there, but over time, if you're consistent, you get there. Trust leads to an allowance of healthy conflict, which is so important to do any work, any meaningful work. Which leads to accountability. Because if I'm not worried about having healthy conflict with you, if I'm not worried about kind of challenging you about something, then I can hold you accountable. I can hold myself accountable. You can come back and hold me accountable. And that leads to execution. And that leads to bottom line results. This work is important. It's important at the system level, and it's important, of course, in the classroom. Sometimes, you know, I go to a lot of schools, you know, and I ask teachers at the school, do you like your school? And I went to this one school, and it was an amazing school. Amazing school. I go to the main office, everyone greets me with eye contact, smiles. They don't, and they it's not like they have to do it. You just can see it. They do it because they want to. I go to the first class, super rigorous, but fun. Kids are engaged, you know. Second class, same thing. I go to the staff meeting at the end of the day where everyone's exhausted, but still like people are engaged. There's even music in the beginning. People see they acknowledge one another. And so at the end of the day, I ask this teacher, I'm like, hey, do you like your school? And I'm excited because I'm like, I'm just ready for her smiles and, you know, and she's like, no. And I'm like, what? How do you not like the school? Have you seen other schools? Like, how do you not like the school? And she's like, no, I don't like my school. I love my school. And every time I tell the story, I get a little bit goosebumpy because There's such a big difference when someone tells you that. Like and love, they're like oceans apart. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to think about it. Do I like it? Love is in the heart. You know it. You just like, do you love your wife? I like her a lot. Okay, it's not the same thing. Okay, it's not the same. All right. And so I asked her, I'm like, hey, why are you saying this to me? Why are you saying you love your school? And she's like, well, listen, Ronnie, I do like teaching. Okay, I'm good. I feel good at it. I feel competent. I like it. But I love this place because I just know that people, I feel like I'm a part of a family, if you will. People have my back. I have their back. And by the way, we certainly don't agree all the time. Like we disagree, we drive each other crazy sometimes, but underneath it, we remember we're human and we're connected with one another. And we're going to sometimes simply just agree to disagree and move on, And we help each other grow. I help my principal grow, and she helps me grow. And that makes all the difference. People like the work that they do for the tasks that they have to do. They love their work for the climate and the people that they do it with. And so then I ask myself, like, what drives climate? Because, if that kind of climate is so important, like what drives it? And the research shows very clearly, there's a lot of things that can drive it. For example, monthly breakfast club, food drives it, like good food. Or like traditions in the school, or celebrating people's milestones, birthday, of course, all of that, But it turns out the thing that drives it the most is the way the leader behaves. Because 70% of how employees perceive their organizational climate is traced to the actions of one person, the leader. Everyone takes their emotional cues. And when I share this with leaders, often the reaction I get is, oh shit. You with me? Because we think we have to be perfect. We think we have to, not show any sign of human. We have to be perfect. And the truth, nothing could be further from the truth. The more you allow yourself to be human, the better leader you become. And that means, for example, saying, oh, mea culpa, I made a mistake. I said something at a board meeting or even and it was false. And actually, I realize it now when I made a mistake. And when people see that, instead of you trying to cover it up, people are like, oh, okay, well, they're human and it's all right. And what you end up doing is you end up giving them permission to be human. And so they feel like, okay, like everything's all right, Even saying something like, hey, you know what? We have this issue. I don't by myself have the answers to everything right now, but I believe that as a group we can find it. Makes a massive difference. Right? I really believe, and I love this quote, from Simon Sinek. The real job of a leader is not about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in our charge. And one of the best ways to get there is to, number one, take charge of yourself. So you can really take charge, and support others. Like you cannot be emotionally available to others unless you're emotionally available to yourself. And you cannot do that unless you're mindful. Someone comes into the board meeting, if you are not noticing what's going on within you, if they're activated and you're activated, forget it. But if you're able to be there for yourself, then you can show up powerfully for them. And they need that. They need to know, hey, I'm going to be held when I'm here in one form or another. I mean, I disagree with you, but at least you're going to see me. But I think actually most of the time, not mindful. And in life, you could do things in one of two ways. You can do things mindfully or mindlessly. Now, to prove my point to you, let's do a little fun activity. I'm going to show you some numbers on the screen. I asked you to add these numbers out loud with me. Now, some of us have done it, and if you've done it, you can kind of notice what happens, okay? But let's go ahead and add these numbers out loud together, just for the sake of, understanding how mindlessness might show up sometime. Okay, you all ready? Okay, here we go. So 1,000. 1,040, 2,040, 2,070, 3,070, 3,090, 4,090, and yeah. So all of us said 5,000, which totally makes sense in the sense that everyone says 5,000. If you said 5,000, you're normal, but you're totally wrong because 4,090 plus 10 is 4,100. Yes. It's okay. It happens to a lot of people. All right. Okay, now I see in some of your faces, you're like, some of you guys like, what the hell just happened? Okay, so here's what happened. Okay, we followed a number pattern mindlessly. You with me? And mindlessness is not a lack of knowledge. Every single one of us knows that 4,090 plus 10 is 41. It's just that we followed a number pattern mindlessly. And I want to tell you something. By the way, just a funny little quick aside, okay? I also said 5,000 when this was done to me, okay? And this was done to me in grad school. And we are, this is a huge room full of psychology students. And this is at Harvard. Now, I'm only telling you this because I want you to get like room of 500 graduate students of psychology at Harvard, all with an ego of an elephant. Are you with me? And everyone says 5,000, everyone, okay? And then Ellen Langer, our professor, literally wrote the book Mindfulness, shows us the answer. And and then the two guys behind me are like, oh no, wait, I said 4,100. You came here, I said that's not the point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, people's egos can get in the way sometimes, you know? And here's what's amazing. When we're mindless, we're often wrong, but never in doubt. I'll say it again. When we're mindless, we're often wrong, but never in doubt. Like, how many of you guys got 5,000 and you're like, yep. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. No. Now, this obviously just a little math thing, not a big deal. But in life, especially with leadership, when we're mindless, we can often make the wrong assumptions about others. And that can lead us into trouble for sure. Also, we can believe thoughts about ourselves that can actually cause us some pain and suffering that these thoughts are not even true. Okay. And I want to delve into that a little bit, but first I really want to delve into the relational piece, because when we're more mindful, we actually attune to others much more effectively. Okay. And if you think about it, leadership is about moving people. And what I found in doing this work long enough is that people don't change until you listen. Even then, people might not change, but if people are like, if people are going to give you pushback and you don't listen to them, forget it. They're not going to change. If you do listen to them, there's a chance that they might change. Does this make sense? Now, what I love about the word listen is that, let's look at the letters. So Listen, right? You know what another word has the exact same letters? Silent. Is it a coincidence? Yes, it's a coincidence, but it's a cool coincidence. It's a joyful coincidence, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's really true, and it's important that when we learn to listen to others, we first understand, okay, we are actually listening in a silent way to hold space. And to get this a little deeper and to understand this at a deeper level, we're going to do a mindful listening exercise in a moment. But I want to show you this quick video of this cute little baby. Ready? Okay, all right. So it keeps going on forever. Now, here's the thing. You know what's crazy about this video? Every time I show it to people, no matter what country I'm in, wherever, everyone in the room either laughs or smiles. You know what I'm saying? You cannot look at this baby and be like, you can't. Because we have mirror neurons in our brains that allow us to experience the same experience in the person in front of us. And when it's such a cute baby, it just happens. You know what I mean? It's just natural in us. Yes. Now, here's the thing. When our people come to us and we, with our facial expressions, without even a word, we show them that we get their experience, their mirror neurons tell themselves, I'm not crazy. My leader sees me. Even if they disagree, they see me still. Okay. And that makes all the difference. You feel like, okay, I really feel like I belong now. And I'm seen. So let's do a quick little mindful listening exercise, okay? And the way this is going to work, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Very good. So the way it's going to work is I'm going to divide into, let's number into 5s, okay? So 1,
2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, 5. Okay, good. So you're going to find your partner. Okay, the person with the same number as you. And one of you is going to be partner A and one of you will be partner B. And partner A, you're going to tell partner B a true 30-second story from your life. And it could be even from the summer. So like this summer I went to a wedding. You know what I'm saying? That's all you're going to do. Now, partner B, you're going to listen to partner A really, really well. And then at the end of the 30 seconds, I am going to tell you what you're going to do. Does that make sense? Just make sure you listen to them really well. All right? So go ahead and stand up, find your partner. Decide who's going to be A and who's going to be B.
4 and 4.
Hello.
Hi.
All right. How about
You're better.
All right, so partner A, you are gonna be, I'm gonna actually time you. It's only gonna be 30 seconds. I'm gonna time you right now. You ready? Ready, set, go. Okay, so.
And one other story. And
Celebrating.
Crash can.
And so I'm like, we're gonna have a show.
And then you're back, then.
And stop. Very good, very good. Awesome. Very good. So now, partner B, you were just told the story by partner A. So partner B, you're gonna retell the story to partner A. However, you're gonna do it in the first person. So if I came to you and I said, hey, this summer I went to a wedding with a friend of mine, she's the bride, you'd come back to me and be like, hey, guess what? This summer I went to a wedding of a friend of mine. Make sense?
Sure.
Do the best you can, 30 seconds, have fun with it, and go.
One summer, brought down a trash can. And then the trash can was about to a child, because to me that means like, oh, it's that. Okay, so you were. How old were you?
Very good.
My sister better than.
All right, good. So partner A, do you feel like partner B got you?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see from some of you, they're like, yeah, they got me better than I got myself.
Right.
Yes. Okay, cool. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch, all right? So, we're gonna switch. So partner B, you're gonna tell your own truth, 30-second story from your partner A, you better listen, because there's a twist. I know. So I'll go for 30 seconds, partner B, your own true 30-second story, and go.
This summer, my daughter made it to All-Stars for softball, and 7 years old, I played her. My father was pretty for
Together.
They were all
not so really just get out of my head.
beautiful experience.
Out of 18 games, it's actually
All right, and stop. Very good, very good. Yeah, it's all real, yeah, I know. All right, so now we're gonna do.
She started.
Okay, now we're gonna do the following. So partner A, you were just told a story by partner B. Partner A, you're gonna come back to partner B and also retell them the story in the first person. However, you have 60 seconds. I know, to tell the story. And you're like, wait a minute, wait a minute. Here, I thought some of you guys are like, wait, the story was 30 seconds long. Yeah, okay. Probably means you're gonna have to make some stuff up. Okay. And listen, it's totally okay for you to make stuff up as long as it's in the vein of the story. You know, in other words, don't go like this summer we went to a wedding and then went to Mars and that. No, like stay in the vein of the story, and you're also not allowed to do this. This,
Oh.
I know all the tricks. I know all the tricks. Okay, Beth, I know all the tricks. All right, you ready? 60 seconds, do your best, and go.
Okay, so summer. Choked or wanted to, and we. I had so much. And nervous. And then so she. Been there before.
10 more seconds.
And you
Give your partner a word. You go 2 months. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, partner B, do you feel like partner A got you?
Oh, yeah.
So let me ask you a question. This is an important question, all right? What did partner A, by the way, Carrie, right? She killed it. Like she like literally said things that were totally true that I didn't even tell her. Okay. And so what did partner A have to do really well during the listening stage? Come back to partner B, make a bunch of stuff up, and make them feel like they got it. They understood the essence. Like what did they have to do?
I think reading body language while you're talking is huge.
Reading body language. Yes. What else? What else?
emphasis.
Yeah, emphasis. Yes. Noticing.
The word emphasis that he was giving to me
Yeah.
told me other things about.
Yeah.
Well, I think empathize too.
Right.
I was feeling the emotions. of
Yeah.
the story.
That's right. That's right. So you're noticing the emphasis. You're noticing it but through like changes of pitch and like changes of the way that they're moving, you know, and then you're recognizing, okay, there's an emotional piece there, right? So empathizing underneath. Great. Anything else?
Well, you're as a listener, you're listening for the why.
Yeah.
Why is someone telling you this?
Yes.
And you do the little interpretation.
Yeah, that's right. You're listening to the why. So beautiful. You know, 95% of listening is listening to what is not said, right? It's listening to the emotions underneath. It's listening to the energetic shift. And when we do that, and when we actually give that to someone, magic happens. That's where belonging really occurs. That makes sense? Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, give your partner a soft whoosh. 3, 2, 1. Whoosh. Thanks for playing. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Very good. Now, sometimes, you know, Larry talked about empathy, right? And here's the thing. Often when we listen, many of us make a bit of a mistake sometimes when we don't distinguish the difference between sympathy and empathy. And there's a big difference between the two, it turns out. Okay. And when people are sympathetic, they are true. It's not, most of the time it comes from a good place. Okay. It's just that sympathy can really create disconnection. Empathy creates connection. And so Brene Brown, pretty famous social psychologist, has a really nice little video about it. And I'd like to play this for you right
So what is empathy, and why is it very different than sympathy? Empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's very interesting. Teresa Wiseman is a nursing scholar who studied professions, very diverse professions where empathy is relevant, and came up with 4 qualities of empathy. Perspective taking, the ability to take the perspective of another person or recognize their perspective as their truth. Staying out of judgment, not easy when you enjoy it as much as most of us do. Recognizing emotion in other people and then communicating that. Empathy is feeling with people. And to me, I always think of empathy as this kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole. You shout out from the bottom and they say, I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, you climb down. I know what it's like down here. And you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, it's bad, no. You want a sandwich? Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with at least. Yeah. And we do it all the time. Because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, and we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So, I had a miscarriage. Oh, at least you know you can get pregnant. I think my marriage is falling apart. At least you have a marriage. John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. If I share something with you that's very difficult, I'd rather you say, I don't even know what to say right now, I'm just so glad you told me. Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
Very powerful and very true. Connection is what makes things better. Connection is, by the way, connection is what diffuses people when they're angry, right? Connection is what leads you to feel like, okay, now we're a team, now we can go somewhere. Now, I know that in leadership, and especially when we sit on the board, there are times where people are like, hey, solve this for me, right? Like fix this problem for me. And there are times where it is appropriate. Be like, all right, I got this, and I'm gonna fix it. Okay. But often, in many cases, when your people come to you and they ask for your support, or they ask for you to fix something, a lot of times holding space for them in a way that they really feel seen actually leads them to begin to realize, oh, that we can actually do this together. We can solve this problem together, or I can be more resourceful and actually get to a place where I can solve this. I often tell leaders, listen, if you're just going to fix everyone's problems, guess what's going to happen? They're just going to come to you all and like expect you to, you're going to get more and more monkeys on your back because they're just going to expect you to fix everything. Okay. And yeah, there are times where it's appropriate, and there are other times where what's really appropriate is to truly hold space without fixing and actually sitting in that discomfort of not fixing it for them. Does this make sense? But making them feel seen and understood. You know, to me, it's there is that sense of when real listening takes place, we create these experiences, right, of the interaction of people feeling heard and understood. So I asked myself, how do we lead to that, get to that place where we can give that to people in a very simple way, like really make them feel seen and understood. Again, not just feel like, hey, I'm represented here, this place that takes it seriously, but I feel that people are seen. And it turns out that there are 5 qualities that if we provide to people when they come to us, they will feel seen, unless they're psychopaths. You with me? Which they exist as well. But most people are not psychopaths. Does that make sense? Like the vast majority of people feel seen when you provide these 5 things to them. The first is you're really present. and silent. It's not a dialogue yet. Does this make sense? You're present and silent. The second thing you provide to them is curiosity. Hey, share a little bit more about that. You talked about this. This seems to be kind of hard. Talk more about this specific piece. Tell me more. What's amazing about that is that when people feel like you're curious about them, they realize, oh, this person actually wants to know. They're not just doing lip service. They're not just thinking about what they're going to say in response to what I'm saying. They really want to know. They want to know more. And then you can actually describe what it is you hear them saying. You can actually take a moment and paraphrase, like, hey, instead of going into your own thoughts and into what you want to tell them, you can just take a moment and be like, this is what I'm hearing you say, or it sounds like X. And then you can empathize. You can say, wow, I imagine that's really hard, or I imagine that's really scary. You can even check in and get curious with them again after you empathize. Hey, I imagine that this is hard, but then check in and actually say, hey, is it true? Is that true, what I just said? You may be right, you may be wrong. But I want to say something about that sentence then, the I imagine, because this is important, okay? When you say I imagine to someone, you are communicating a couple of things. The first is you are honoring the fact that you're not them. And it's very important because you know how when you share something with people and they tell you, oh, I know exactly what you feel. That doesn't feel very good because they don't know exactly what you feel because they're not you. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're well-meaning, they're not you. And so if instead they say, hey, I imagine this is what's going on for you, they are honoring the fact that you're different and they are making an assumption about you. It's like, and they might be wrong. And so that's why they saying, I imagine this and this, is it true? Really honors their experience. Does that make sense? And the last thing to do is to acknowledge, to acknowledge this person. And I'm going to talk about acknowledgements in a little bit, but there's a lot of research to show that when people feel acknowledged, magic can happen, especially people who follow you. And the research also shows that leaders do not acknowledge people enough. The vast majority of leaders do not acknowledge the people, especially for the amount of social capital that it gives you. Okay, and so I want to kind of play around with these a little bit. Okay, before we do, I want to ask you to think for a moment about why did you choose, for example, to be on the board? What led you to decide to do this? Okay, most people don't do it. Why did you choose to do this? Something that's clearly important. Okay, why did you all choose to lead in a district? Again, most people don't do it. So, but there was something that really led you to do it. Okay, or that was important for you. Okay, think for a moment about what this was for you, why it's important for you to still stay in this position and to create the impact that you want to see. So let's just take you'll see why I'm doing this, but just take 30 seconds just to think and kind of really connect to your why. Close your eyes even if you want, or keep them open. It's up. So what we're going to do is you two are going to partner. You two will partner. You two are going to partner.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Great. Me and Larry.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Is that okay? You two are partner. Maybe I messed it up. That's all right. But there's a reason for it. So far, who are my partners? Show me my pairs. Okay, awesome, cool. All right, and then you three are going to be a group, okay? To begin with, you two will partner together, you'll observe. Okay, and then we're gonna switch things around, so. Go ahead and sit next to your partner or find your partner.
Up to you.
You get the nice big.
All right.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, sit down, you're sitting down.
Hear your story.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So listen. For the next, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes, we're going to play around with these concepts and these skills and ideas, and we're gonna exaggerate certain things and have a little fun with it, but there's a reason underneath it, okay? So what we're gonna do is one of you now is going to share your why with the other person, right? What I ask, we're gonna really delve into presence right now. We're gonna have a little fun with this. And at first, we're gonna practice what not to do. And have a little fun, okay? So, and this will only be like 20 seconds or so, okay? But basically, one person is going to share with the other your why. And what I want the listener at this point to do is to not look at them, to turn around. You can even get up and walk away for a little bit, maybe stretch, close your eyes. You with me? You're not there.
I don't like this at all.
Yeah, I know. Okay, do the best you can, just have fun with it, all right? We're only doing it for 15, 20 seconds. Okay, decide who's sharing first. Who's sharing first? Who is the listener, the bad listener in this case? I know, just have fun with it and go, 15 seconds, go. What's your why?
Was operating mostly as a computer. Comfortable with you.
5 seconds left. Yeah, yes. And stop. Very good, very good. Yeah, give her a round of applause. Yes. Okay. So, first of all, listener, that was pretty uncomfortable to do, I imagine. Yes. Okay, cool. All right, let's switch it up now. Okay, so now, listener, what's going to happen? Listener, you really are going to be fully present. And what that means is that you are square with them. You're at eye level with them. Okay. And as they're talking, you are truly not only paying attention to the words, but really the emotions underneath. You're not saying anything, but you can show with your, motions of your face and body, you kind of get them, you hold them. Okay. We'll do it for about 30 seconds and go.
Just still out of care. My why is because I love this community.
Take another 5 seconds.
More like you, yeah. It's more like you.
Okay, and pause. Very good. So I want to ask you a question, just the sharer, the person who shared. How energetically, what was the difference between the two? How did it feel like? How was the experience different for you when you shared? What did you notice? Easier, much easier to share.
I was less distracted with my own talking. Like I could get my point out, but when I was distracted, I found myself being distracted.
Right. Yes. I love that you said that. You know why? Part of the reason I love you said that is because often this happens in board meetings and other meetings as well. A person talks and then someone gets on their phone, right? Or gets on their computer. That's distracting. Okay, you're not with, right? Like there's no presence. And so that can distract the person, sharing. So just like little examples like that, you know what I mean? It makes not doing it makes such a difference. Anything else that kind of came out?
I just noticed like a bit back at like body.
Yes.
She really kind of leaned in.
Yeah.
Leaned in, like she's really wanting to hear us. And just she was accepting it as opposed to
Yes.
which was the exaggerated.
Yeah, sure. Of course. Yeah.
Way of listening.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Water.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Nature, you know what I mean? Like it was, yes, but she did it. All right, cool. So, so now let's get into curiosity for a moment before we practice with the kind of like the bad listening versus the good one. Let's have a little fun with curiosity, because here's what's really interesting. You know, something that I find fascinating about curiosity. You know who is super incredible at curiosity very naturally? Who's amazing naturally at curiosity? Kids.
Yeah.
That's right. They're incredible at it. They ask questions all the time. You know what I mean? And at some point in their, you know, they grow up and the curiosity gets beat out of them. And that's sad. It's sad. Okay. Now, I want us for a moment, let's just be kids for a sec. Okay. And what I'm going to ask is that the person, we're both going to do it for only about 30 seconds, but each person for 30 seconds. And Josh, you can jump in, you can do it with Linda, and you'll observe for now. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll rotate. But what I want is 30 seconds each, ask each other whatever question you want to ask. Okay? Because here's the thing, I know that you know each other, but it's amazing what can happen when we just allow ourselves to be curious and just to ask something to someone that we don't know anything, like there's something new about them, right? That we may not know, and just have fun with it. Like, hey, tell me more about your glasses. Why'd you choose those glasses? Or, hey, tell me more about how was your childhood? You know, like, hey, when did you come to Pacific Grove? Or like, you know, tell me more about your socks. You know, those are cool socks. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Now, if there is a question that your partner asks that you're like, I actually don't really want to answer that question. Here's what you're going to do. You ready? You're going to say, this is a great question. What's your next question? Does that make sense? It's a great question. What's your next question? And then you just move on to the next question. Make sense? All right. So let's do it for about 30 seconds each, or maybe even a minute each, and just see what happens when you just allow curiosity. Just have fun with it. And it can even be like, the person who's answering, try to give a quick answer so that the person can ask more questions. As many questions as you
Person
can.
A talk, like, is it?
We're gonna do both sides. So whoever it doesn't really matter. The point is, see if you can ask as many questions as you can in like 60 seconds, get some information, have fun with it, and go.
That's a great question, but I am gonna answer.
I found,
You know,
about like the anti-bullying.
I kind of felt my earliest memory. I saw a lot of my teacher lounge and the coffee room, and I that just drive me.
I made those and I laminated them.
Why is it?
Yes.
And there was like this. That was there. I saw.
Now, good. Pause, very good. Let's switch direction. Okay, we're gonna, so go ahead and switch direction now. The person who just shared is asking all the questions, go. Switch direction.
Yeah, so I would.
Okay, so.
That's what I felt. That's what I'm not sure if that's.
I'll be good.
Various roles in the banking. Operations, trust.
We're talking about what they're doing to them. You know, and but
There's a moment.
Look, then maybe.
I was in Chicago, that's.
I mean, honestly, I said if she wasn't jarring.
All right, very good, very good. Let's go and wrap this up real quick. Awesome, good. Now, so much you can get real quick, right? From a person, again, maybe you've worked with them for a decade, but all of a sudden you realize new things about them, right? Real quick. You notice that? Okay. So let's have a little fun now with curiosity, okay? The person who was the listener before, now you're going to be sharing your why. That's why I'm on the board. This is why I'm a leader, like in education, okay? The person who is listening now, okay, we're gonna play a little bit with curiosity. We're gonna do it the wrong way first, okay? The listener now, basically, once your person stops sharing their why, I mean, you can like, when they share, you can kind of be with them. It's okay, you don't have to like look around and stuff, but basically at the end of their share, your answer, your response is just like, you're. That's it. That's it. You're. And that's it. You with me? Okay.
Can it be a
Very good.
variation?
Now, so actually, Josh, you'll be listening now, and Linda's going to share with you, and then we'll switch. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do about 30 seconds of this, but hey, give him a good like Europe, like loud and stuff. Okay, but just like a quick like Europe, and that's it. All right, and go. I go ahead and give it that here.
Yeah.
So insulting. I know, right? So weird. I mean, I'm telling you, I know. Yes, I know. It's kills the connection. We're like, what just happened? I just shared my soul with you, and you give me a yurt. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Now, I know, right? You feel it. Now, here's the thing. We're gonna switch it up quick. All right. And now the person who just shared, you can share even more, right? You can move from, you can share a little bit more about your why, okay? But what I ask is the listener, give them a little time, like share, let them share a little bit. And then see if from one of the things they said, either just said right now, or they're gonna continue to share with you, take a little something and to be like, hey, tell me more about this part. Tell me more about, like, you seem to really care about, like, why do you really deeply care about this? Or, ooh, tell me more about this thing that happened that led you to believe that, hey, this is going to be a good path. Does that make sense? Okay, and then see if you can ask a couple more questions, okay? And go.
So, I don't know. Even when I did it. Oh, I can't.
Take another 30 seconds.
Or do you think it's?
30 seconds.
Yeah. That is amazing, absolutely. And you feel like.
What?
That's fine.
And let's go ahead and pause and bring it back in for a moment. Awesome, awesome. Let's take a moment and bring it back in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, what happened? What happened? What if you were to like kind of remove yourself from the like actually were like a fly on the wall and you look at the conversation you just said, how were the two different? What just happened when your listener was all of a sudden curious? What happened? Share. Person who shared, what did that be? Okay. Or, yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Feel a connection for sure.
Love the connection. Yeah. When he said "yerp," I wanted to punch him. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And then. Yerp. But the question, like, that was, it's just, I felt validated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real positive. Validated scene. I'm telling you, it's amazing sitting here as a facilitator. It's amazing to see how much longer the conversations are when people ask you questions, how much people are leaning in, how much people feel like, I mean, like, there's a lot, the share is a lot more vulnerable. You know what I mean? So, here's what I'd like to do. Let's play with one or two more of these before we end. So describing, here's what we're gonna do, okay? Now it's gonna be you two, okay? So, what I would like to do with this, again, let's play and have a little fun with this, okay? One person, now the first person basically is gonna go, you're gonna go back and you're gonna continue to share your why with the person, like first person who shared. Listener, here's what I would like you to do first. Basically, as soon as they you give him, I don't know, 20, 25 seconds to share, and then basically be like, let me tell you about my experience. Like immediately, you go into, let me tell you about my experience. It's so relatable, okay? Like immediately, okay? Just delve into that. Have a little fun with this. Don't worry, it's only 20 seconds and go. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
Let me tell you about my experience making an impact. Like, I have.
Yes, perfect, Larry, perfect.
And, you should really sure about that.
Go ahead and respond.
Nailed it.
And Paul, very good. Very daring. I'm not so bad, right? It's so hard to do. I know, I'm with you. It's painful. It's totally painful. You know what's crazy about this though? It feels painful, right?
Yeah.
To do this, and folks, that stuff though, believe it or not, these things happen all the time in organizations. Every day they happen in organizations. And when we talk about cultural responsiveness, and when we talk about equity, and when we talk about belonging and everything, those are the kinds of things we need to eliminate. You with me? These are the types of things that kill relationships. Right? And they're small, they're micro, but they're so important, right? And so now we're going to switch it up. All right. Same person sharing, the listener. What I just encourage you to do is give them again a little time to share. And then at the end, I encourage you to take a moment, like paraphrase what they're saying. You don't have to parrot what they're saying. If you want to, you could, but you can paraphrase what they're saying. You can even just say, hey, it sounds like X, and then at the end, even ask them, hey, is it true? Like, did I get this right? Or is it a little different for you? Make sense? Let's do just a little bit of that right now and go.
It's so like
So much. No part of me feels like the best.
Straightforward. Trying to like, or with the. So maybe it's kind of. Got it.
And
Oh, I was. So.
Beautiful. Let's go ahead and begin to wrap this up. Come back to the middle.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go ahead and come back to the middle. Yes, I know it's hard. You see what happens when you listen well? It's like, as the facilitator, it's impossible to bring you back. Why? Because people love, they're like, you know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. I love it, right? It's so cool. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right? Because people feel like, okay, there's a connection now, and you don't want to let go of the connection, Okay, we have 3 minutes, so we're gonna do the following thing in our 3 minutes. We're actually gonna practice acknowledging, okay? Skip over empathy for now because we don't have time, but it's okay. Here's the thing. People have a hard time receiving acknowledgements. We do, but we're gonna practice it right now. I want you to take a moment and think about a very simple, sincere phrase or sentence, or even two, that you can give to your person who just shared with you about their why, and simply acknowledge them. Say a truth about them for them. So take a moment, think about that for a moment. What can you tell them? Just take a sec and make it unique to what they just shared. And try to make it concise, again, not very long. Okay, so in a moment, one of you is going to acknowledge the other. By the way, we're going to go both ways, okay? One of you is going to acknowledge the other first. The person who's being acknowledged, here are the rules. And it's important that you follow these rules, okay? Rule number 1, when you are acknowledged, you are quiet, okay? You're not allowed to say anything until they're done. When they're done, here's what you're going to say. You're going to say, thank you. And then you're going to say, it's true. That's right. That's right. You're going to own that because you know what? It is true. It's a lot more true than your perception of yourself. Your self-perception is a lot less true than what they're sharing. Because they don't have that filter of the inner critic. Okay? Does this make sense? And just have fun with it. Just enjoy. Even if you think it's not true, say it's true. Okay? Just for fun. All right? And then we're going to switch. All right? And then you're going to, share, and then they're going to practice being quiet and then saying thank you. You ready? Let's have a little fun with it. Now, let's, so in this case, I'd love for all of you to practice it, okay? Okay, go for it. Yes.
And mind is there and all. Okay. Having a bigger own. Do we have to switch it on?
Yes.
Okay.
I like the recent. Also now.
Yeah, that's hard. Powerful, yeah. Thank you, it's true, yeah. Okay, well, did our thank you. That's true. Awesome. Kind of hard sometimes to take it in,
I
right?
didn't say thank you technically.
I didn't, I said it's true.
You said it's true.
Oh, that's true. But, yeah, I love it. Sometimes hard to do, right? No.
Good enough, thank you. Was the
Yeah, no.
All for not.
So here we go. Let's, yep, let her respond. Very good. Very good. Now all you have to do is say Gatorade. Yes, yes, I love that. Yes.
You're easy. You're very good.
Yes.
Take one more moment here because then you can finish it. Yeah. Boom, there you go. I love it. I love it. So let's go ahead and come back to the circle real quick. Listen. You know, it is true. And it's important that we let that in, you know, because no one else is going to tell us that. You know, maybe our loved ones, maybe sometimes our staff, you know, but we have to remember this is a team who are leading this district. It's so important that we see each other, right? And we acknowledge each other. When we lead this way, we're going to lead others this way as well. It has been such an honor to be with you this evening. Thank you for your time. Thanks for playing full out. And I'm just so glad that we're doing this work together this year with your district. It's been such a privilege and an honor to work with you, and I'm just excited to work with your educators as well. And I'll end by saying, may you be healthy, may you be happy, may you be at peace, and may the work that you do come back and pay you a millionfold in the form of love, connection, joy, and abundance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got it. Right. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I have to read out the topics. Thank you to Roni, Habib, very much. Okay, in reverse order of our typical agenda, we now have closed session. So I will identify the closed session topics for this evening. Item A is negotiations, collective bargaining session, planning and preparation with the PGTA for 2026-27. Item B is negotiations, collective bargaining session, planning and preparation with the CSEA for 2025-2026. Item C is public employee discipline, dismissal, release, leave complaint under Government Code Section 54957, Subdivision B. Are there any public comments on closed session topics this evening? Okay, seeing none, we will adjourn to closed session and reconvene to report out. Thank you. Okay, we are returning from closed session and I will report out the action taken with regard to item A, negotiations, collective bargaining session planning and prep with the PGTA. Information was received. With regard to item B, negotiations, collective bargaining session, planning and preparation with the CSEA. Information was received. With regard to item C, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, leave complaint under Government Code Section 54957, Subdivision B, information was received by the board. And with that, we can adjourn and our next meeting will be on August 13th. Thank you. It is 9:26.